Welcome to the Caveman Sports Report. I'm your host, Mikey Mike, the Sports Pod Father. On this show, we're going to be focusing on all the caveman sports action. That means K through 12. Keep it here to learn all about the past, present, and future superstars of our Carlsbad Caveman Sports Nation. All right, welcome to the Carlsbad Sports Report Spotify podcast. I'm here with Coach Charles Miller of the Special Teams Unit here at Carlsbad High School. Charles, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Charles, go ahead and tell me a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, I've been in Carlsbad 9 years. I grew up in New York, went to high school in New York, went to college in New York. I went to school to be a teacher. I went to, shout out to the Division 3 reigning national champs, SUNY Cortland. Go Red Dragons, baby.
Go Red Dragons all the way.
Just won their first national title this year, so that was pretty cool. But no, so I went there, played football in high school, played baseball in high school and track. Mm-hmm. Ended up throwing the javelin, discus, hammer, shot put, doing it all.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, in college. And then went to school to be a teacher, and again, just how life works out. Mm-hmm. Ended up in Carlsbad, New Mexico almost a decade ago, and still here and loving every second of it.
The elementary school growing up, and like what sports you played?
Mm-hmm. So growing up, I played, baseball was it, man. I loved baseball. I have two brothers, and I was fortunate enough, we lived in a great little neighborhood that had a big old cul-de-sac with about an acre worth of grass on it. So we played baseball, football, street hockey, soccer. Name it, we played it growing up. And then in the wintertime, we play ice hockey on the lake. We play.
Shout out to the brothers. Who are their names?
James and Calvin. Well, actually, golly, they're actually all spread out now. So my older brother, James, lives in Colorado.
Okay.
And
ski
then
guy.
Yep. And then my younger brother, who ironically enough's the bigger ski guy, he lives in Oregon. Spread out.
Yeah. You're like, how far away from New York can I get?
Yeah, exactly, right. So, but no, it was great growing up with them. And then just, like I said, growing up in a neighborhood with a couple other neighbors that were my age. Mm-hmm. And golly, we played everything. It was awesome. But baseball growing up was it. Like I was going to go MLB, and that was, no other option.
Okay, go Minnesota Twinkies. Is that your team?
No, I am... I'm a New York Mets guy.
New York Mets,
Grew up as an Orioles fan. My parents were big Cal Ripken fans, so they actually went to the game where he broke Lou Gehrig's Ironman record. So it was Orioles, and then just being in New York just kind of morphed into a Mets fan, which is kind of sorry to say because they are absolutely horrendous. But
sorry, whatever Dad was into.
Yeah, it's the life I live,
Understand. Hey, speaking about your mom and dad, what are their names and what do they do?
So Mom is Maura. She used to own a deli, but now she runs a catering business in upstate New York. And then Dad is also Charles, and he's a financial advisor.
Financial advisor. What is that for people that don't understand what a financial advisor does?
He helps people manage their money and things like that once they decide they want to go and let somebody else figure out the stock market for them as opposed to them trying to do it on their Robinhood account,
Understood. Yeah, I actually have one of those Robinhood accounts. Yeah. Trying to do it myself.
Yeah.
Mexico, tell me about your family and, if you have any kids or not, or...
no kids, single.
Smart man. Keep it that way. Keep your money in your own pocket.
Absolutely, which, makes it easy to be up at the high school all day long working and coaching. But, one of the reasons that I'm still in Carlsbad is I've met some incredible people, some very good friends. And but, yeah, it's just you don't really expect it. I didn't expect it, certainly, to come down here and then just meet really good people that are going to be in my lives for the rest of it,
Right, to the very end.
Yeah, something I was not expecting even a little bit on my road trip out here. So
tell me a little bit about what you do and why you love doing it.
So I am a history teacher up at the high school, and then I also coach.
What grade history do you teach?
So I teach AP World History and AP US History. So 10th grade for AP World and then 11th grade for AP US. And I've been doing that 5 years now. So I was at the middle school, I was at PR Leyva for 4 years, and now I've been at the high school for 5. And it's a blast. I went to school in the spirit of honesty so when people ask, because you're 17, 18 years old, graduating high school, you're supposed to have your life figured out. Everyone's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Mm-hmm. And I just kind of said teacher just because I was good at history, and I thought being a history teacher would be an easy job.
Right.
So that's what I did, know, and never really had any intentions of sticking with it. I kind of got through school just because I was already in the program and I was doing it, and then came here to teach for 1 to 2 years. That was my original goal. Because I wanted to go back to New York, I wanted to go back to my hometown, and that's what I wanted to do, was stay back in New York. And you need experience because their retirement program's so great, so a lot of people go teach there and stay there for a while.
I bet there's like 8 million people in New York, and everybody's trying to do what you do.
Exactly, yeah, there's plenty. And like I said, their retirement program's so good, people don't leave. They stick around, and so they build up their years and their portfolios. But no, so ended up teaching, coming down here. Started off just doing 8th grade U.S. history, and then doing the AP stuff for the past 5 years. I found a new passion for it. I absolutely love it. I get to enjoy history and teach the stuff that I really care about. And then at the end of the day, I get to come coach kids, which is, it's a 180 from the classroom, but it's awesome. It's what you need sometimes to kind of let loose, or to have a little fun, or to get excited, or whatever it might be. And you get to see the kids in a different light. So to be able to teach and coach at a great school I couldn't ask for anything better.
That's great. Speaking of history class, you say it was the 10th grade AP and the 11th AP US. What does AP and AP US stand for?
So AP is advanced placement. So if kids do well enough, so at the end of the year, they're going to take a test that I think there's like 300,000 to 400,000 kids in the US that take the AP World, and a little bit more, maybe 500,000 that take the AP US. And so they take a standardized test in May. And I can't be in the room. I can't be anywhere near them. They have to go and get proctored by somebody else, and then they take the test. They grade them on a scale of 1 to 5. If you sit down and put your name on the exam, you get a 1. If you knock it out of the park, and there's kind of a formula, that's part of the things that we teach throughout the year, but if you knock it out of the park and you get a 3, 4, or 5, you've just earned college credit. So now those kids don't have to pay for 1 semester of a history course.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And so I love it. I took APs when I was in high school. I was able to get college credits. And looking back on it, that's 2 semesters. That's a lot of school that I didn't have to go pay for. And
right.
So
you can focus on other things.
Exactly. So I see a huge benefit in it, which is also why I really enjoy it,
What are some of your favorite subjects, talking points in history? Do you have like certain favorites that you really love more than others?
That's kind of a loaded question, I think, just because,
you love it all.
Well, exactly. When you're passionate about something, it doesn't really matter what. I know historians kind of focus on one thing. If I were to choose, if I could go back and say, all right, someone's going to pay me, $1 million a year to just research and be a historian, I think one of the coolest things is kind of Native American, and especially the Mayas and the Incas. I'm just so fascinated with it, how successful people were thousands of years ago, hundreds of years ago. I love it.
Right.
So if I could choose and had to focus on one, that would be it. But obviously, I enjoy it all. I think just being able to pull random facts out of your head about silly things that happen throughout, history is just awesome. So.
All right. Do you have any memories of watching sports with your father or your mother growing up on the couch, like all of us think about?
No. I was born in Maryland, lived there for 6 years, then we moved to New York, right around 2001. But I remember my dad was a big Redskins fan. I can't call them Redskins now; they're the Commanders now. When we turned 5 years old, that was a big thing in our family. Was we got to go to our first game at 5 years old, to an NFL game, and I remember doing that and having a blast. We used to go to Camden Yards a fair amount with my mom. My mom was huge into baseball, and we would go up there a ton just to catch the Orioles on a random Sunday or something like that throughout the summer. All those memories, the ones that actually stick out with me with my dad specifically, is golf.
Oh, he's a big golfer, huh?
Growing up, as a kid, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the most boring thing to sit and watch.
Yes.
And now, playing
trade it
golf,
for the world.
Yeah, playing golf and getting into it and appreciating it so much more. I love it. I flew home the other day and I was just watching Scotty Scheffler win his 7th tournament this year. Just on my phone. But
how do you keep it on the green like that?
Oh my goodness, yeah.
Through the trees, over the tree. I get it.
Yeah, but so that's kind of the one that sticks out. I think that kind of brings me back to just summertime, grilling out some burgers and watching a golf tournament on a Sunday, seeing who's going to win. And it used to be Tiger. Tiger's kind of fallen off a little bit. So
right, there's new people now.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of like the LeBron train in basketball.
Yep. The torch is being passed as we're watching it. I have 2 brothers and 1 sister, and we were all super active and just extracurriculars. So we been to plenty of them. I mean, I was 5, so I don't really remember a ton about that Redskins game, but
yeah, you're just getting the chips and cheese and the hot dog in your hands.
Yeah, exactly. I was having a blast. I didn't even know there was a game going on.
Right.
But,
seeing how many bleachers you could sit on,
exactly.
Or how many of those foldable seats in the stadium.
Yeah, but no, the golf on Sundays, that is something that does stick out fondly.
Where did you graduate from and what year?
So I graduated high school from Saratoga Springs High School in 2011, and then I went to SUNY Cortland, which is a small state school just about 25-30 minutes south of Syracuse. So for those that don't know, it's still about 3.5 hours from New York City and still about 3.5 hours from Buffalo. So it's about smack dab in the middle.
Did you live on campus or did you make the travel?
Lived on campus. Which was awesome. Met some of my lifelong friends there. Got to compete in track and field, which was fantastic. Got some very good student teaching placements, which kept me in it. As I mentioned earlier, I wasn't the biggest fan of teaching. It was just kind of something I wanted to do, but got some really good placements there. And then after I moved to Carlsbad, I went to Google and I typed in good sports management master's degrees, and Gonzaga University popped up. And so I got my master's from Gonzaga in 2018.
Wow. So, and where is that again?
Spokane, Washington.
Never
been to Spokane, Washington, but I have a degree from Gonzaga University. So.
Good. Was that an online degree or did you go there?
Yeah, online. There was an option to go, but so they do it because masters are so different. They basically said I either had to do the whole thing there or the whole thing online. I couldn't kind of piecemeal it, which is what I wanted to do. And working at the time, trying to pay bills, I said, there's no way I can
afford
take 2 years off and go live in a random state in the Pacific Northwest. So
got it. Yeah, getting your master's degree. Wow, hands off. Hats off to you.
Appreciate you
very much.
Yeah.
I know how much. I don't have that myself, but my wife has a master's degree, and I was with her for some of that and all the late nights and all that. Oh man.
Yeah. No, I had to learn how to manage my time because working and coaching, you don't get much of it. So to have to sit there and actually say, okay, if I can start a paper on Monday that's due on Friday and write a paragraph tonight, that actually will set me up for success throughout the rest of the week.
Gotcha. Especially with all the kids coming out of high school right now, and they're going to get ready for college. Having some experience from their coach. Be like, hey, I was there, guys.
I tell them that all the time. I did not learn how to plan my workout and not procrastinate until my master's degree, because I had to. Because in college, even in high school, you can put it off. You know, I remember in high school a couple times you do your homework on the bus ride up to school. You
Right.
know? But then once I got my master's, I mean, I'm working from 7 a.m. till 6 in the afternoon. Okay, well, I've got 2 hours, 3 hours before I go to bed. I guess that's when I'm working on my school stuff, you know, find some time for food and friends and stuff like that in the middle. But
Okay, so during your high school stint, what was the sports you played, and what were your coaches' names? If you can remember them.
So I played football. I actually didn't play football until my sophomore year, but that was Coach Jones.
And what was your position in that?
So I moved around a little bit. We didn't two platoon it. We were, you know, if you were good enough, you played both ways.
Right.
So the place that I got the most time was defensive tackle. I was the same.
You were coming.
I was the same. I was the same height, but I was about 60 pounds slimmer. So I was a little bit faster, a little bit lighter on my feet.
That's all right. That's what older.
That's how it goes. Like, you know,
too many all-stars around us.
Exactly.
Gutbusters.
But no, so played football for Coach Jones, and my junior year was really special. I got to play. My older brother was a senior. I was a junior.
Oh.
So just that whole experience of having to travel and being. So we play our games at neutral sites, and then in New York, because there's so many people, everybody's so close to each other. I mean, I think our furthest game during the regular season was 40 minutes. You know, so to get to travel, we went to 3 hours away to Kingston for our semifinal game, and to get to go do that and have a team meal and travel on the bus and all that stuff was just, it was, you know, unforgettable. I had an absolute blast. Played baseball my freshman year for Coach Hall. That was a great time. But then kind of switched over to track, and Coach Conley, who I still keep in contact with today, a fantastic guy and a great coach, and got me passionate about track because it's an individual sport, you know, and so
it's all about you in that moment.
Exactly. And if you go out and you're not so good, it's tough to stay motivated. And the first year ever doing it, my sophomore year, he was able to keep that motivation, which that's huge for a coach to be able to do that, to keep me coming out when I wasn't very good. Right? Yeah. For him to keep me motivated, and I try to do that with
now.
The kids
Look
today.
at you.
Yeah, you know, and just.
I just recently learned how gaining muscle works by micro tears in your muscle, and you can't just get big overnight.
It doesn't happen. It takes weeks, months, years of hard work, and so it was. My hat's off to him because he was a great coach, and like I said, I still keep in contact with him and all that good stuff. So shout out to Coach Conley.
Shout out to Coach Conley out there. Where did you attend college again?
So I went to a Division III school in upstate New York. It's about 30 minutes or so south of Syracuse. SUNY Cortland, State University of New York at Cortland. They just won the Division III national champions in football.
Yeah. Hats off.
Yeah, go Red Dragons, baby.
All the way.
Yeah, so that was their first national title. That was really, really cool. They played the championship game on ESPN Plus. So to get to watch my Division III school on ESPN, I thought was so cool. It was awesome. And so I had a great time there. Met some lifelong friends and got to compete in track and field and student taught, and had a great time. So I was about to say we at least got 4. We got 2 indoor, 2 outdoor. So I had some T-shirts and some medals and stuff like that, which is cool.
So they were like 1-16, and you guys were, or 1-12, and you guys were like 11-12.
Yeah, we're pretty good. They have some Commissioner's Cup every year, and Cortland wins it pretty much every year.
Oh,
because we're just it's tough if you don't know the schools, but it's kind of, if I were to compare it around here. It'd be comparable to like a UNM MSU situation. Certain types of people go to one school, certain types of people go to the other school. In New York, it was Cortland is where the athletes go.
When did you decide the coaching was what you wanted to do?
Again, that's kind of a loaded question too. How
can we rephrase that?
No, it's a good question. I don't think coaching was what I decided to do. I think it's coaching more or less found me, which is a little bit more profound than But so when I moved down here, when I got hired, they said, "You're going to coach," and I said, "Great, I'd love to." And I was young and dumb. I was 21 at the time when I came down here and thought I knew it all. And
how old are you now?
I just turned 30.
Okay,
so,
well,
yeah,
happy birthday. We're the last ones.
Thank you. Yeah. So
I don't like candles. I open beers.
Yeah, exactly. Somebody gets it.
Somebody gets it. Yep.
But no. So when I moved down here, when they hired me, they asked me 2 questions. They said, "Are you really willing to drive across the country and come teach here?" And I said yes. And then the second question was, "Are you willing to coach 3 sports?" And I said sure. I never played basketball. Pick up with my brothers and stuff, but I was never very good. It's not my thing. I don't enjoy watching it.
Yeah, we're all muscles. Those are for the long, skinny guys.
Yeah, exactly. And so I obviously wanted to coach football. I wanted to coach track, and then they threw me in basketball. And just within the first 2 years of coaching 3 sports and just seeing those kids outside of the classroom, middle school kids are a handful. Somebody described them as hormones on legs.
Oh, yes, so, very much.
And so to get to see those kids excited about other things, than just being an idiot in the classroom and acting a fool in the hallway or trying to impress their friends and kind of building those relationships.
Right, to become a man, not a little boy.
And so it was really cool to teach them those things. And then again, when I decided to be it, I don't think I decided, but what confirmed it for me was that I was where I'm supposed to be. Was when I got moved up to the high school, the kids that I coached in 7th and 8th grade, I got to coach again.
Oh, okay.
And so I've basically seen these kids grow up from 7th grade to 12th grade, and I was their coach for 4 out of those 6 years or whatever it was.
Yeah, you're a dad figure in their world.
Yeah, it was just really special, and I've been able to connect with those kids after graduation and keep in touch and things like that.
Oh.
And it's just so that kind of confirmed, hey, this is where I'm supposed to be.
Yeah, once you get a taste, you absolutely love it.
Oh, absolutely. I understand why people stick in it forever because you love it so much.
Yep. And then the kids listen to you, and then they
sometimes, but yeah.
Most of the time,
yeah.
they get a little angry in the moment, and you got to remind them, hey, you're right here.
Yep.
It's how the real world works.
Yeah, and we all do that, right? I mean,
Right.
that's part of it too. I've grown up and learned with them as well. How do you interact with other people? I think that's the biggest thing is teaching kids especially, how do you talk to people, and how do you interact with them? I understand you're your coach, and we have a different relationship, than possibly with other teachers.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, getting them to learn those life skills. I mean,
Yes.
That's what we talk about all the time. Is I want to win a blue trophy more than anybody in this room, but I think teaching kids and seeing them turn into young men, like you said, is so much more valuable to me than any blue trophy. And hopefully we can merge the two and make them both happen. But if it doesn't, and we just turned some kids into some awesome people, I'm all right with that too.
That's all we can do, and that's what we want to do, and I'm all for it. So, what memory of college ball really meant the most to you? What was the memory of college throwing that meant the most to you?
I think it would probably be my junior year. I was I was young from my grade. I graduated high school at 17. I played my entire senior year of football in school at 16.
Yeah, but we had to take the door off to get us in here.
Yeah, for real. Yeah.
You're a big dude. I mean, you're like 6'2", 250.
Shoot. Oh, you're hyping me up. But
forced to be reckoned with.
Yeah, used to be. I'm slowing down now.
We all are with the getting older.
That's how it goes. But I think the best thing that I remember was my junior year. I finished second in conference in the javelin, so I was an all-conference thrower, which was great. It was one of those things. It was just kind of a culmination of a lot of work and effort and time, and so to be up there with the medal and stuff was just cool. It was memorable. It turned out it was my last track meet ever, which I didn't know it was going to be at the time. But it was one of those experiences, and we never got, because again the throwers are ostracized.
Yeah,
we never got to, because my coach didn't want to travel overnight. So whenever the sprinters went to a meet, they would go spend the night in New York City. They'd go to Philadelphia. They'd go to Baltimore. We would travel 30 minutes to go to Syracuse and go to And so for the conference championships, I remember we went and spent the night, it was my first time in college spending the night on a sports trip. Which Carlsbad, we do that 3 times a season, but for me, it was so cool and special, and just like sharing a room with my buddies.
Yeah,
and ended up having a great meet and having a good time. I love that whole trip. It was perfect.
That's good. That's good. You guys go raid the vending machine and all that.
You know it. Oh my gosh, that poor hotel breakfast, man.
Got destroyed.
Yeah.
Good. When did you know being a leader in the community through coaching or playing sports was in your path, and what was the path that led to playing or possibly becoming a coach?
For me, being a teacher was always going to happen, and then getting to just see the kids in a different light and getting to build those relationships. And I remember my first year teaching here, I signed on to make $38,000. So I had no money.
Yeah.
But I remember it was one of the coolest things. We went undefeated. We coached the 7th grade kids. We were undefeated, 8-0 or something. And me and the other coach, we scrounged up whatever money we had, and we said, all right, we're going to go celebrate your season. We're going to get like Little Caesars pizza. And so we paid for it ourselves, and we threw them a little pizza party, and those kids were so grateful.
Yeah.
And just had such a good time, and it was just such a fun group of kids to be around. And so I think that's kind of when, man, this is pretty fun. I really enjoy this.
Seeing the happy faces on them.
Exactly.
It's all worth it.
Exactly. And so, yeah, man, it just kind of, like I said, it's kind of developed and matured, my love for coaching and my passion for it over the 10 years, which is good. I think that means I'm in the right spot because I care more about it, if that makes sense. Like I've grown closer to it as a profession than I think I ever would. So
Great. And you teach special teams for the Carlsbad. Let's talk about that for a bit. What is it that you coach, and how, kind of describe it a bit of your day in coaching?
So special teams is often the forgotten aspect of football, right? Everyone always knows offense, defense, but
and it comes down to the last 3 seconds.
I know you want the field goal, right?
Yeah.
And then it's I get all the glory and all the blame. So special teams unit, we do the kickoffs, kick returns, punts, punt returns, field goals, and field goal blocks. So basically any kicking that we do. I was technically the special teams coordinator for the past 2 years, but 2 years ago I didn't really have the freedom to do it. And then last year, with basically a brand new staff and a skeleton staff, I was kind of we were all kind of trying to just tread water and get by. And so this year, I'm excited because Coach Sanders has kind of given me free reign on what I want to do special teams wise.
That man has a gift for coaching and coaching the coaching staff.
Oh, absolutely. He's a pretty talented dude. And so I'm excited because he's basically said, you can do what you want. Obviously, I've got to run it by him, right? He's still the top dog.
Yes, same here with my dad. He's my boss.
Yes, you know how it goes. Yeah.
Yep.
But so I'm excited because I've kind of created a little unit. I've got about 15 kids who, some of them are going to start on Friday nights, some of them won't, but they're all going to be on special teams. And I'm trying to make it a little bit of a team within a team, something that kids really
I like that, team within a team.
Yeah, something, because again, it goes special teams, like I said, it just kind of gets looked over,
right?
Because it is, we just got to punt the ball away. Well, there's a lot more that goes into it, the formation that you're going to give and who's going to do the snapping and the punting, and a lot of things have to go right for a PAT to go through the uprights as well, So
you got to make sure the blocks are on point too.
The blocks are there, the snap is good, the holder's holding it right, all those things. But you think it's so routine because we see it on Sunday afternoons. Right. It is routine. They don't screw up in the NFL, and they just get it done every time. So I'm really excited to kind of tackle the special teams unit this year and see what we can do. I mean, because the momentum shift, we ran one last year and ended up getting called back, but we ran a fake punt last year that got us a first down, and just the momentum that you can feel it. It's palpable when stuff like that happens. And
I think the stadium almost collapsed for that one.
and so it's exciting. So to have that kind of control and stuff like that, I'm very, very excited for.
That's good. And all you got to remember is laces out.
Laces out. Marino,
yeah, Marino and all that.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers Jim Carrey.
Yeah.
How do you feel about transitioning between sports? Do you encourage the students to do other sports, or do you encourage them to focus on one sport? And what was your motto for transitioning from different sports?
I always encourage kids to do more than one.
So does everybody.
I hate the specialization. I've got a little nephew, well, cousin, I guess, nephew, whatever he is, but that's playing baseball right now, and that's all he's focused on, baseball. And I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, just do other stuff. I'm not even saying football. Go play volleyball. Go play basketball. Play soccer in the fall. Do something other than just one sport, because number one, the big thing is you only get one high school experience.
Oh yeah, very true.
You don't get to go back to it. And I tell a lot of the kids, you'll never get to play organized sports again in your life. I was fortunate enough. I got to run track at school, but not very many people get to do that.
Right. Usually ends at graduation.
Exactly. So why would you limit yourself in your high school experience?
Right.
The other sport that I coach is track, and I always say I can't be the bad guy. I'm the last sport. So I never get in trouble, because the baseball kids are going to go play baseball, softball kids are going to play softball, the golfers are going to golf. So I catch anybody else that doesn't want to do those things.
Right.
So, football and basketball, they, have issues sharing athletes, yada, yada, yada. But for me, coaching track, there's no other sports going on. Hey, you want to come run fast? Sure. You want to just compete against yourself every week and try to get better? Yeah. Hey, and I'll get you out of school and I'll feed you lunch and dinner every week. Oh, okay, coach, sounds good. So my pitch is so much easier, I think, than other coaches must be.
I like that a lot.
So
that's a great pitch.
Yeah, thanks. It's working pretty good. We had tremendous numbers. You always lose a few along the way.
Oh yeah.
But I think we started out with about 95 track boys, finished the season with about 65, and then track girls, we actually didn't lose next to any. We had 50 track girls out all year, which was awesome. The best numbers we've had in a long time. So yeah, my pitch, or, how to convince kids to do other things. Hey, don't limit your high school experience. Like I said, I can't be the bad guy. Just come on out. Basketball's done, or football's over. Come on, get your lift in and then come see me. We'll run a little bit and then you can go home. So
absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I could totally see that, and I could see everybody else that just wasn't really into sports, basketball, football, and all that. They wanted to just come run track for you and compete in that way.
Absolutely.
I get it. I see it clear as day. Let's talk about dress code. What's the dress code for, say, running track, and how do you enforce it?
So really, there's no dress code, just athletic clothes. Everybody keeps their shirts on.
Okay.
Boys, girls, doesn't matter, because the thing now is for girls to run in sports bras or those tank tops or whatever. And so the boys, they come from football and they want to take their shirts off too, because we compete in April. You know, it's getting 90 degrees in Carlsbad, New Mexico. So,
absolutely.
But you're not going to deal with it. Everybody keeps their shirts on, and we're good to go from there.
Listen to the smart man speak here.
Yeah, we haven't really run into many issues with it. They're high school kids.
They're going to do what they're told, pretty much.
Yeah, and you
from
talk
coach.
to them, hey, this is what I don't want this, I do want that, and they'll listen for the most part.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that these boys and girls, they just listen, and they don't wear the sports bras, and the boys, they leave their shirts on out of respect for the girls, because the girls can't do it.
Absolutely.
So that's really good.
Yeah, it's been good so far.
What do you require from the students to be able to play on your team in regards to the classroom?
So the state rule, school rule, they can't be ineligible. And what ineligible is, they cannot have any Fs on their report card, and they have to have above a 2.0 GPA. I do teach a fair amount of the football boys and track kids, and so I know I can check their grades, I can see how they're doing, yada yada.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I know. You run into some of those problems, and I kind of try to tell them,
Come to me. I'll help you.
Well, exactly, right? I mean, I don't teach other subjects, but I can help you out in math or science, or I can at least tell you how to talk to your teacher about getting extra help and things like that.
A lot of kids are just shy about speaking up.
They are, and it's tough, and a lot of things are online now, so they don't have to speak up. You know, they just got to go in and make up work and whatnot. But, I mean, basically, I've left kids home. I'll leave it at this. I've left kids home from... Now, football, I don't get as much... power in the decision making when it comes to this stuff because it's not my program. But for track, I've left kids home for classroom behavior issues. So that's kind of how I'll leave that question. Is basically, if you do what you're supposed to do, we'll be okay. But
we're good.
Yeah, if you're going to represent, because it's not about representing me necessarily, but yourself,
the whole team
and the school. I mean, if you're going to act a fool to your teacher, who's trying their best to get you educated and to do what they have to do, you know, with test scores and all those other mandatory things that we get forced upon as teachers, and you can't respect that. I don't know if running track is the best thing for you.
Understood. And then they got a meet coming up, and they're like, "Oh man, how can I fix this?"
Exactly.
So we know how to fix an app. Do you have like a apology letter, like if they misbehave, that you make them right?
I fortunately haven't run into it that badly. Like I said, being the last sport, football and basketball and wrestling have taken out a lot of those behavioral issues. If those kids are still competing, then they're typically pretty good in the classroom, and 97% of the kids are awesome in the classroom.
Right.
So fortunately, haven't really had that. I have had to have some sit downs with some teachers, but basically, I give it up to the kids first. If I get an email or a text, which probably happens about once a week about a certain kid or group of kids, is typically what it is.
Group of kids just being kids.
Exactly.
I get it. Not thinking.
And I call them all in and I say, hey, here's your chance to fix it. I don't want to hear from this teacher again. You know, and if I do, then I'm going to have to take care of it.
No.
And basically, in my experience, I've been fortunate enough where that typically takes care of it. I just, say, hey, give me a yes, sir, give me a yes, ma'am, or no, sir, no, ma'am, and just move on. That's all you got to do. Teachers are going to respond positively to that. You're good to go. You don't need to talk back and kind of harass them or anything like that. Just, yes, sir, all right, sorry, and keep going.
All right. Any advice for the future kids out there starting out in the sports on the Pee Wee level?
Yeah, just stick with it. Don't get overworked. I think it's more for the parents. Kids are kids. They're going to love it, right? Kids love getting out and running around and making up their own games or just having
all day.
Absolutely, right? I mean, but I think it's to the parents of just don't burn out your kids. Just let them have fun. Let them be a kid. If they want to go play soccer, let them play soccer, baseball, football. It doesn't matter. That's one of the nice things. My folks, they didn't drive me to the sport. I think just playing, growing up with siblings or at least friends that were close in age, that's what drove me to sports. We just wanted to compete against each other.
Yeah, just be buddies, hanging out.
Exactly. Sometimes it was just running a race in the neighborhood. Sometimes it was playing, street hockey or whatever it may be. But
some kick the can days.
Oh, I love kick the can. Oh, capture the flag, kick the can. Oh my goodness gracious, I love it. But yeah, I mean, I think the message is more to the parents. It's just don't burn them out. I think that's what it is too, especially where we live, where the weather's nice all year long, and you've got travel baseball and softball going to World Series. Every 2 weeks. It's like just give them some time off.
Yeah, let them breathe a little.
Yeah, for real. Let them be kids. Let them go swim or hang out at the beach or just So I think that would be it. Just stick with it. Do what you want to do.
Stick with it. Do what you want to do. I like it. All right. Final question here. What's your ritual for relaxing after games on the weekend? What do you like to do, and where do you like to go?
So for football, and I guess for track too, we typically don't compete on Saturdays, which is really nice. We'll compete on a Friday afternoon. We'll get home late. It's a stressful day.
Oh yeah.
But then I give myself Saturday no matter what. So so for football, I do a lot of the film and I do a lot of the huddle stuff.
Okay.
So we'll get in.
Hold on. What's Huddle for the audience listening?
Oh no, yeah. So Huddle is our video sharing platform. So that's how we watch our own games. We can watch other teams' games. We can put notes in. We can give the down and the distance, the play type, the result. I mean, so it's kind of our big Excel spreadsheet.
Gotcha. It's the film.
It's the film. Yeah.
Gotcha.
And we film every game from 2 different angles, and it's a lot. So I come up Saturday mornings, regardless what time we get in Friday night. I'm going to be up here about 7 a.m. Saturday morning. I'm going to get all my film done. We grade the kids, so we go through by our own position group, and we have to grade each kid out and give them comments and feedback. Because if you played a game, and you take 60 snaps and you don't get anything from coach other than hey, good job or hey, bad job, how do kids get better? How do they grow? So we actually go through and we grade every single play.
I did not know that.
With comments and tell the kids, hey, on this play you did this really well, on that play you didn't do anything.
Wow.
So
okay.
Yeah, so it's not just sitting and watching and say, we did good or we did bad. So but I come up early and I get all that done, and then my favorite thing to do is on a Saturday afternoon, especially in the fall. The fall in Carlsbad's gorgeous. I go and I plop my fat butt down on the couch and I just watch college football. And it's just so relaxing to me, and the games are typically pretty good, and it's just like I don't have to think about.
They're way more entertaining.
Oh my gosh! And just because we come up on Sundays as a staff and game plan for the next week, so I really haven't followed the NFL too much. So I've been able to follow college football pretty seriously, simply because that's the only free time I really have.
Who's your team?
It's a loaded question, but it's my top team, Syracuse.
Yeah, gotcha.
Go Orange.
Go Orange. All right.
But then little brother went to Oregon, so I root for the Ducks.
Okay.
Older brother went to Air Force Academy, so I root for Air Force Academy. Dad went to Army, so I root for Army. So I do have some kind of outlying loyalties.
Right.
So I do have like 4 teams that I'm always kind of cheering for.
Right.
And then little brother got his undergrad at Georgia Tech too. So there's kind of So there's some schools that I root for, but Syracuse is the top dog, which I think they're gonna have a pretty good season this year. Got a new coach, that DB coach from Georgia. He's recruited a crap ton, so I'm hoping Syracuse can have a good season. But yeah, I just love, like I said, because then for me, just knowing that I don't have any other football stuff to work on, I don't have to watch any more film, I don't have to break anything more down. Because I'll be up here Sunday, I'll do it, the next day. But I can just sit down, relax, and just grill out and just watch some football and just I love it. So that's how I unwind. It's one of my favorite things to do. I genuinely look forward to it throughout the week.
You're just all around sports.
Absolutely. It never stops, man.
All right. That's great, Coach. Thank you for coming in today. And thank you, Caveman fans, for tuning in today to the new sports report here on KCCC 930 AM. I'm Mikey Mike, the sports podfather, reminding folks, even Chewbacca made it to the big leagues. He won Wookiee of the Year.